It's not-
3 what?
I haven't tried it, but it'll be a good reason to.
I can't see that.
You can tell she.
What's that?
What's the date?
What's
So
today?
that one doesn't work.
3/28.
Yeah, then I'll contact you.
Denise, can you
You
hear
don't
us?
have one of your-
Nope, 'cause I-
Okay, and then don't forget to move your microphone really super close to your mouth if you talk tonight, okay? So we can hear you.
But you can talk to-
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because we can't hardly hear that at all.
Cool.
A stand.
I will try to talk louder.
Just try me one more time, Denise. I'm gonna try something here.
Okay.
Talk a minute.
Okay.
Well,
What do you want me to say?
keep going.
Now you just going away.
How are the lambs?
All right, so
Well, the house ones are fat and sassy now. They just got fed. No?
Yeah, I can't get you any louder, so it's really hard to hear you.
I will talk really loud then.
Turned it up about 20 notches and she didn't change a bit. That's the key you were hearing. Yes, I'm gonna rotate it.
Yeah.
Is she going immediately?
after it's only
Just give me a second.
Yes, if that's what we're going by tonight. It's wrong.
It's the wrong night.
It's the wrong night. This is the worst semester ever.
Well, that's the last tip I had in my house. I ordered that because I tell me very nice. Yeah, what? I didn't ask you much. I'm telling you.
we just.
Oh, I was, if you had a backup.
Yeah,
She's working on it.
working. You have my phone, so I didn't make.
I know, no, that's fine. I got one.
Okay, I have 6 o'clock. Are we ready? No, go ahead, Lisa. I'll wait for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. My hands are so full.
Do you want motion?
I don't have it.
I can go get it though. It's in my car.
Again?
No, this shouldn't be as bad as last time. We really jumped on it last time. Oh, see, she's prepared.
Have sanitizer.
Go ahead, Peggy. Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Ask that everyone please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I am looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
Can I make a comment during your report,
Yeah.
during the president's correspondence, because it does involve you a little
Oh.
bit. So I just like to start. And you can-
Oh, sure. Okay, so you're just gonna slam me back up. Okay, so I have a motion by Dwayne, seconded by Rhonda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Do you have any comments from the public? Yes.
I would like to thank my friend, colleague, Rhonda Heistrom for all her years working on the school board, making it a better school. She was one of the reasons why I stayed on the school board, because I thought it not only made it a person, but a better way of life for the kids here at Siren. Thank you. Ryan, because I'll miss her.
All right. Hearing no other, we'll go, Bryn, you have an update for us, auditorium.
I do. So this is Nick Anders from Audio Architects, and he said most equipment is scattered or for back order between now and August. So he's unsure at what point they'll have a majority of the equipment that makes sense for them to come up and install, but they're hoping the end of July, beginning of August, which would work out well
Nicely.
because we've got summer school programs in there. So, so that is the update.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
And we have a presentation as well.
We do. This is Regan Belisle. And this is the new marimba. This is what I used most of the funds that were donated in memory of Jim Groot for. And I'm excited to have this piece of equipment. It's something that we've always needed. We now have a complete mallet section in the band room. And Regan is a wonderful mallet player, and she has been going to town on the marimba. So she is performing her piece next week, next Tuesday at Solo and Ensemble Contest in Osceola. And Regan, I'll let you tell the name of the piece and something that's interesting about it.
It's called Galactica by Mitchell Peters, and instead of like 4/4 time or 2/4, 6/8, it's in 7/8 times. So there's 7 beats in measure.
Got your music spread out? Or- Wow. To have this, we don't, before this, we did not have a piece of equipment where we could actually be playing in the rain. octaves. So it's very cool, and Regan is a very driven student, and it was perfect timing to have her be able to use this for solo ensemble. So that's where the money went.
Thank you.
We will move on to the treasurer's report.
Laura is here via Zoom. She was feeling a little ill today, so she went home.
That's better. We don't want to hear it.
Oh, thanks.
No thanks. Does anyone have any questions for Laura? If not, we'll have a motion. Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Motion by Tiffany, seconded by Rhonda to accept the treasurer's report. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin, you want to?
Yeah, I'll start and then
Go
let you
ahead.
take it. So we have a couple board members leaving us this evening, I mean, this is their last meeting, formal meeting, and we'd like to say thank you. So Trish, we really appreciate your service. And by the way, we can take a quick little, not break, but just if you want to take time to get cupcakes and some water there, whatever, we got some stuff for you. But Trish, first we want to just say thank you, and I'll let Peggy comment a little bit, but we got a little card here and a little gift for you. I mean, I don't know if you want to take pictures of them together maybe, or I'll give you that. And then we have Rhonda Heistrom.
I know.
And we have- I think they each have a 5-minute speech that they have.
Yeah.
When you're hired.
I'll do it at the end.
That's protocol, yeah. So, of course, Dwayne trying to be the star student, as always, you know, trying to trump us before we even start the meeting. Say thank you, but hey, we brought the cupcakes.
Yeah.
You bring the damn darn thing. He didn't bring anything. So, Rhonda, we want to thank you very
Thank
much for your
you.
time and service. Really enjoyed it. Trish, thank you so much. So, you know, the podium is theirs, and Peggy, if you want to take a little bit here, but we really appreciate all your effort, time, and hard work. It takes, and the meetings, I mean, good Lord, the meetings, right? So you probably won't miss that so much. But thank you very much for your effort for the district, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
And if you guys want pictures, if you want to put them together, maybe they can stand together.
I think we should make them.
Yeah, they don't have to, you guys don't have to say anything.
Yeah, you don't have to give your speech. If you get a picture, take it.
Oh, okay.
Your pick. No,
Right there.
not by me.
Right, hold on.
Not by me.
All right, here we go. Thank you.
Thank you guys for your service. I don't know, Peggy, if you want to comment or anything.
Yeah, so Trish stepped in, when it was actually appointed by the board when another member left the board early by their own choice. So Trish, we do appreciate that you were willing to step in, even if it was only for a few months. It was nice to have some different input.
Just too chaotic right now, so.
You
I've been
guys
there.
want treats though. Hey,
So I understand
Now's the
that.
break time for treats,
Yeah.
when they would like one.
And as far as Rhonda, Rhonda's been on the board longer than I have and has helped me out. Her and Dwayne are the ranking members of the board, and so we lose a lot when someone who's been on the board that long leaves, because there's a lot of history that we don't necessarily have then, because we could find it by going through records, but it would take hours where someone will remember something. So I personally will miss Rhonda a lot. Thank you for many years.
So obviously Dwayne already got his, one, so you got. You guys
He's
want
not
anything,
bitter.
just say it. Want anything, Throw some over here for you guys.
And so the only other thing I have is just a reminder that we have a meeting coming up in April. I believe Tiffany and I are the two assigned to go to that one, or the volunteer to go. So Lisa, if you would please send us out a reminder, because you know how I am. I think it's the 6th, right? The 6th? Okay. That's all I have.
I
So
got
with that, we will move to the administrator's report.
Okay, so often we get, a lot of times complaints and that, from people, especially in special education. So one of our employees is a parent here. And, she was just commenting about how difficult it is for her children in her district and keeps commenting, I wish we would do it like Siren, and she witnesses a lot of this stuff on a regular basis. So I just wanted to share that. It was kind of a compliment for our special education department. And there's an email letter in your packet just indicating that, because a lot of times we take hits. And educators take hits all the time, and I think unjustly so, but it's easy from, you know, a few feet away to criticize. So anyway, just, I thought that was interesting. She was sharing that with me, and I was like, okay, great. So just take a look there, and just want to compliment Denise and her staff on everything that they do for our kids here, and it's not, I don't want it to go unnoticed. So that's that. And then this goes way back. The volunteers, instead of approving them every month, we just send an informational item to you, who they are, in case there happens to be a conflict or any kind of concern later on down the line. We used to take many of these every, I don't know, was it twice a year? We used to have to approve them and all this and that. So they do the background checks on these. They do set them up. So it's all been taken care of. I'm just sharing who our volunteers are with the board. Okay, so you guys know. And then finally, the letter that you have in front of you, I didn't want this to go out to the public just yet because we have, before the next budget session, the board decided, or the budget committee decided, we would send a letter on behalf of the district ranking our priorities for the next budget cycle. And this is in no particular order right now because I was told to generate a letter. So I did, and there are 10 priorities on there. I kind of just put them in what I thought was, but you guys, as a board, you guys go ahead, and if you want to shoot me an email or whatever it is about what you think the order of the priority should be, please do, and then we'll get this letter prepared. We'll invite them into our district as well before the next budget cycle. So those are the 3 items I have.
Does anyone have any questions for Kevin? Carrie.
All right, we had registration last week for pre-K, and we have 19 on the roster. 18 of them came in and registered, so that was a really good number. So I'm feeling good about the number of students we've got coming in. Most of them have signed up for summer school as well. Summer school, we have lots of fun stuff again planned. We have hunter safety, we have theater camp, which is sponsored by Moms for Kids. And it's a little different this year in that they will get to create their own play, their own sets, so they'll come together on that Friday then and perform the play that they have created and costumes and everything. So it should be pretty fun. We've got cooking and crafts, science, gardening, sports, all kinds of goodies. Any questions?
Not related to that, but it is. I've been asking if there's a bus this year.
And I have you on my list to talk to.
Okay.
Any questions for Carrie?
That was my question too, so Rhonda got me.
So is there transportation for summer school?
Yep,
To
there
the
is.
normal drop spots?
The normal drop spots, the 3 normal drop spots. I've had one person ask about Rhonda's so far.
There should be a couple more.
So we'll figure that out where we're headed.
There should, I think there's 7 or 9.
Okay,
If that helps.
yeah,
A bunch that would probably.
And there was
Oh,
probably
right
more
now
that
it's
went to
going
Ocean.
to
There
house.
was like compared to.
yeah,
I don't see
we'll talk.
Mr. Imhoff is excused tonight, so Mr. Koval.
I really would like to have a couple volunteers for the graduation diplomas. I realize that there'll be 2 new board members seated prior to them, but if I could get 2, or at least commitment that I would have 2 for sure, Mr. Emery.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Very good question.
So Dave, again?
I think it's May 20th. It's a Friday night.
moving big time short.
Yeah, I'm giving the speech this year, so don't assume that. Don't shake your heads. So I've got Dwayne. Do we?
I can do it, Dwayne.
Okay. Okay. That's all I need. I just need 2. I appreciate that very much. The second thing I listed here was transition planning. After this evening, you'll have a little better vision of what that is all entailing, but I've already started working with Brad Morris on graduation advisors, so he'll be able to take that over next year. I'm collecting pieces of documentation that I've used to hopefully make how things shift next year as smooth as possible. So I've got files, and I realize that somebody new coming in may not choose to use what I've been doing, but at least it gives them a place to start. So I'll introduce Brad to Ted with Justin, so that piece will be taken care of. But that's what's going on in my world right now. So hopefully as the rest of the year goes along, I'll be able to step back, and then things will hopefully transition as quickly and easily as possible. So decided to let you know that that's happening. So it's not just going to be me running. But that's
Where you
what,
live. Go ahead, Brian.
Just try.
but it's going well. So, and that's all I've got really. It's things are going really well.
Any questions for Mr. Koval? Please.
Okay, I will try to talk really loud. We have had 7 early childhood referrals since August. 4 of them are coming out of birth to 3, which is exciting because for a few years we didn't have any. The other 3 have come out of St. Croix Tribal Head Start. And actually, since I put this in, we've had a couple more come out of Head Start. So we're keeping very busy in early childhood. We are still offering a virtual option to our parents and outside service providers. Probably about 1 in 5 parents chooses to participate virtually, so I'm glad we're still able to do that. State assessments, all the accommodations for Forward and Aspire are in. All of ACT is complete. And our alternate assessment, the diagnostic learning maps, which we have 1 student taking, we will start with that next week. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
How are we meeting the needs of these early childhood students without a teacher in that position?
At this moment in time, I have a long-term sub working under me that is providing the direct service with the students. I am still responsible for all of the paperwork, the IEPs, the evaluations of the new ones coming in, but I am working in close contact with this long-term sub to provide the services.
And do we have any idea if we're going to be able to find a teacher to fill that position?
I'm hoping so. My other alternative is to, I have spoken, Autumn Tinman is my long-term sub, and I've had a couple conversations about if she is interested in going back for this early childhood certification. So that would be my other option. The candidates that we had in the last round were not quality candidates, and I don't want to put a body in that position just to put somebody in there. I'm hoping maybe with graduation this spring, we will get some good quality candidates.
And DPI is satisfied with a substitute that's not licensed?
It's a long-term sub, so it would be like putting an aide providing educational instruction in under the guidance of a teacher, except she is a certified teacher.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Denise? Yeah. I think she's back there.
I think she's back there somewhere. I just wanted to give a little bit of an update. Our sugar book was super quick. Terry Moritz actually handled most of it. She just finished with Daryl and House on Friday and got all the syrup boiled. So now we have a family who comes in, they collect our late sap because we collect their early sap in addition to what we have out there in order to get enough for everybody. And then not on the agenda, but Title VI for next year opens next Monday, so I'll be working on that. All I have.
Any questions for Kara? Thank you. All right, so we will move on to the approval of the minutes. I have a motion by Rhonda, seconded by Dwayne, to approve the regular school board meeting minutes from February 28th. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. New business, Esther.
Input, regular input from the public or comments from the board, anything in regard to ESER 3, part of our protocol, we need to offer that out at every meeting.
It's a contract.
Okay, shared the CISA contract, it's in your packet with the Budget and Finance Committee. The only new service we're offering, adding this year is OT services. Denise wants us to make sure we have that in person, which we will. And we've also eliminated the district level consulting days. We were originally doing like 9 days. We scaled it back to 2, now we're down to 0 on that. We just don't feel the need. Carrie, with a lot of that was curriculum based. We feel like we're in a comfortable position right now. So one additional service was the OT services from what we're currently doing this year. And I don't have a total amount, but I can tell you because it's based on students and they don't have a total amount for me yet. But last year's amount for the CISA contract was $97,276. That was last year's total.
And we can expect to be somewhat similar.
Similar, yeah, but just that OT service, that's the only additional add that we had. And like I said, we did take away the consulting days.
If we add that OT to this, we're taking it away from somewhere else, correct? Because we have OT now.
Well, I don't know, Denise, if you want to comment on that, I don't think the OT is where.
So our OT service now is virtual and it's a contract with an outside company that provides the virtual services. So we are now paying this company, even though we're working through CISA as a partner with the company, to get a virtual service back from CISA would mean that we would no longer, or a face-to-face service from CISA means we would no longer need the virtual.
I think
Cutting a cost.
Yeah, but I think it's
Right.
difficult for the individual that's in there that's managing the virtual.
I
With
would
the
say
virtual
that's-
piece, now we have to have a facilitator.
Yeah,
Face-to-face, we don't have to.
I think we're better off with a face-to-face professional in there that, I mean, our person's doing the very best you can, but it's
It's
a
not the same.
difficult situation. Yeah. And she's made CISA aware of what our needs are, and then what they do is then they shop it out to other districts to see if they have a need to, and then they
Combine it.
calculate the cost based on need, yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the CISA contract. Motion by myself, seconded by Rhonda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
So if you see in your packet, we've done this, we did this when we had our building renovation. And basically, if you want to start prior to September 1st, you have to submit the paperwork that I have in front of you there. And meeting with our administrative team, we felt that we wanted to start on August 29th. And I prepared the paperwork to do that on one calendar in there. You can see we also have a second option in case this weren't to work. So if we aren't approved, then we would go with the option 2 of the calendar that you have in front of you. I just wanted to share with you, and Peggy has to sign off on this. We would need board approval, and then I will send in the information, the application and the waiver and the letter to DPI to request that early start date. I mean, granted, it's just a couple days earlier, but I think administratively as a team, we feel like that's probably the best option for us for next year. Yeah, I think via email, like I think within a week, I think the last time was. So I will not only send this, but I'll send it via email right away if it's approved and that. And Yeah, it's usually.
Yeah, we usually know in a
Yeah.
week or two. It's
Yeah. And this was a standard thing we did with COVID as well.
We've done it
Yeah,
just about every year that I've been on the board. It's pretty standard.
I'll make a motion to submit the school board resolution for the waiver. For the 2022-2023.
The
the
DPI.
early start option.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a motion by Tiffany, second by Rhonda for the DPI early start waiver to be submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 2022-2023 school calendar.
I think Tiffany, that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah, but that's for
First-
next year.
First option, yeah. I think that is the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one is for the August 29th, and the
Yeah.
second one's for September 1st.
And then can we just kind of note that in our motion that if it doesn't pass, then we'll go ahead and just follow
Go with
through
the
on
second one.
Yeah, instead of bringing it back to the board, if you guys are comfortable with that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the school calendar with the August 29th start. However, if the DPI waiver is denied, then we would go with the September 1st as submitted. Motion by myself, seconded by Tiffany. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. School force.
So this policy, we have a debate every year, and we're gonna have another one, I'll guarantee you, when we have new board members come on about the school forest. And that's okay, but what we did in the past was it was always kind of just listed in the minutes, there was no formal policy on it. And we drafted a formal policy, but then we got back to the minutes again, and we never approved the formal policy before we addressed it in the minutes again. So what this means is we need to approve this policy, whether you agree with it or not, and then take it back to policy and then have the discussion about what you want to do with what's in it. So we just don't have a policy and we want one before we can start changing it. And we have time because, I mean, well, the hunting is a piece and that's in November, so we just never formally approved it.
I'll make a motion to accept policy 459 for the school forest.
Motion by Tiffany, seconded by Dwayne to accept policy 459. Any discussion?
Yeah, I can, so at this point in time, then, if policy committee would like this to come back to the committee for discussion, if you want to note that in the minutes, we can put it on the next policy meeting, or, I mean, whatever policy meeting you want, but I assume at some point in time you want to go back to policy, just,
Do you have?
I think we should wait till the board is seated,
okay, yeah, whatever, just give me direction.
because otherwise we're just gonna start something and have to start
Yeah,
over.
just make a
again.
note in here about that, we'll just make a note.
And you have it signed, I don't even know for the motorized vehicle. Sign up there saying, Dave.
There isn't one though.
Because I know from personal thing from my parents, we need to have that sign, otherwise technically there's no way you can really enforce it.
Okay, we can, based on this policy, then we can post it
Yes,
for no motorized vehicles.
correct.
So
Yeah,
I
'cause
can
if
take
it's
care of
not-
that.
Yeah, that was one of the problems, is that everything was agreed upon in a board meeting, but nothing was in writing. So
Yeah,
we had to
that's
get it in writing to start.
So I will, with the board's permission, then I will move forward with posting on both
Yes.
B and Old 35, that there are no motorized vehicles.
I can try and see if I know where my parents, they got the place to make the signs through someone at the state. You know.
Okay,
So it's a
I'll
state
see
approved
if-
sign.
So I'll see
the
if I
last set
can.
of signs I put up, I got in trouble, so.
I'll see if I can- It was, I mean, they were told, because they had someone camping out there and they
Yep.
used
Yeah.
a
Nope,
makeshift road and said.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that's noted in the minutes.
yep, I will take care of that.
So,
Yes, the
I'll see
sign
if I
should be
can
posted,
find
in
out
the
where they-
because they just tear it off.
Yep.
Okay,
And I would like to see a permission aspect added in there. So I know you wanna
Yeah.
get this through and we can vote on it, but I would like to see it changed so people have to ask permission to come onto the school forest. It's not in it,
right. Yeah, that'll go back to policy when it goes back to policy.
and I would like to see that before next November, because otherwise I think we're.
Oh, we're not waiting. I just mean till the new board members are here.
Sure.
Because otherwise, every board member has a different opinion and we'll get started and it won't get approved and then we'll have a different board and that's what keeps happening. So as soon as we get the new board in, it'll go back to policy. So in 2 months, it'll go to policy.
Yeah, it's likely you'll have new different members maybe because of.
I would say yes. I mean, I'm guessing.
And Jim, we have had citizens contact us, ask for permission. I mean, I'm sure they
That's how
don't
they
all
should
do
do
it.
it. I mean, it's how everybody's supposed to do it anyhow. And so I think it should be, it's,
Yep, for sure.
Are you still comfortable with the district administrator has authorization to allow motorized vehicles in there? The only time that would likely happen is if Brad went out and was gonna
Oh,
use his equipment. to-
Or if there was an emergency and someone needed to get some
Right,
heavy equipment.
just so we're-
Yes.
okay.
I mean, if the electric company or someone needs out there, we're not gonna tell them no.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just,
we're in.
We need them.
yeah, no, I know. I just want to make darn sure. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And we voted on that correctly, so
With the
so we're on to
Sunday
the,
access only options.
okay,
So we ended discussion, now we need to vote.
we already voted on it.
I just,
Didn't we vote, Lisa?
You know, you made the motion and
sorry.
it went to
Okay, I have
discussion,
a
so I
motion by
misunderstood you.
Tiffany,
Uh-huh,
seconded by Dwayne.
correct.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. All right, career planning and course handbook.
It's sitting right there if you want to.
Yeah.
break.
So this was taken, Wayne, you can tell me if you want to take it, but this was taken to budget and finance and Mr. Imhoff came and he did reflect the changes and you guys, I don't know if everybody had a chance to see it, at least electronically.
Yeah. we emailed everyone.
So, and it's there on the table as well if you want to.
There were actually very few changes this year.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
mean, like,
exactly what the
really.
changes were, they were minimal.
There might be typo stuff too, so.
But budget and finance, or no, was it policy?
Yes.
Policy, I'm sorry, policy did make the recommendation to bring it forward.
Accept
To approve it. A motion by Rhonda, seconded by Dwayne to approve the 2022-2023 career planning and course handbook. Any discussion?
I'm sorry, who's second?
Dwayne,
Thank you.
all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting calendars. Budget and finance. And the regular meeting is on the 25th.
That's Encore.
Yep, we always have a meeting the same night as Encore.
Okay.
We
just-
usually take a break if it looks like we're gonna run long, so we can go down and look at the stuff.
Okay.
We try to get down there at 7 for some performance.
Oh,
No, that's fine. I'm just reminding.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys
you're
do-
on until the
So
end.
the board members are leaving, we do expect them to do committee meetings because after the election, then we swear them in at the regular board meeting. So, you know, we do have a Zoom option. I don't know if you guys knew that, you know,
All
so.
right, what are we looking
Sorry,
at?
first. Oh, that's-
Usually like Mondays and Thursdays, but Mondays are pretty much out this month.
Yeah.
So is there a Thursday, it's maybe 14th?
No, Lisa, if you do the 14th.
Oh, sorry, I missed you on that one.
It's in red there. so you-
I know, I said.
I'm gonna step out of bounds and say that the budget, finance and personnel, Dr. Shetler, I don't want to stack them on top of each other. I think that one probably needs to be a night by itself.
Budget, finance, and personnel.
I think yes. Dr. Shetler, what do you think?
Are you referring to something?
Yeah, There's
We
gonna be
might
some,
have-
there's gonna be some discussion.
I think there is, and I think you're right. That one may go long. That's why I think
don't
you're right.
want
We
to-
should not have anything after that.
I don't want to peg you into an hour slot and
Yeah.
find out we go over.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
we don't have time to wait.
Can you do the 21st one?
21st it is.
Can you do the 21st one?
It should be fine. yeah.
5 and 6?
The 21st is.
Six.
6? Right. Okay.
What
So
time?
budget, finance and personnel will be on the 21st at 6 P.M. Building, grounds and transportation, do they need one?
Can we just, to be determined?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Housing and planning? They need one?
Yes.
Fourteenth work.
Nope, not if you want me
Oh,
there.
crap, we just went over the.
You can do it without me.
The 13th
If you would like to meet on the 14th and that works, if Lisa would be okay with it, I can take notes and run.
or the
That part of it.
13th.
13th works.
So what?
I
day
like
works?
Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay. I could do the 7th.
I could do the 7th. Kelly, can you do the 7th?
I cannot do this.
Okay.
Oh, no, but I have rest time.
So we're back to Mondays. Oh, how about the 11th? Yeah.
No, Lisa.
What the heck?
Again, I will,
If,
if Lisa's okay,
oh, yeah, if Wayne will take it,
She
that'll
can
work.
type them all up.
What time can you guys do?
accurately Anyways, and use
I
that
could
to
do
the key.
That day, I think I could do 5.
Can you do a 5, Kelly?
I could do a 5:30.
5:30 on the 11th?
Lisa, are you okay with that?
I can do part of it and you can take over.
Okay.
But
We can
yes.
always record it if nothing else.
No, I'm okay with it. But I can be here for part of it.
You don't have
Okay.
confidence and.
I personally do, but if Lisa's worried about it, I don't want her to feel uncomfortable. It wouldn't be right.
You guys always could vote to change them on the next month, so.
Okay, and then we'll have the regular board meeting on the 25th at 6 P.M. as usual. So that takes care of the calendars. Looking for a motion to approve the bills.
I will second that.
Motion by Dwayne, seconded by Tiffany. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Items for board signature, I think we've taken care of that.
Except for that one that I
Maybe a
missed.
new
So
one.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
It was supposed to be with the DPI.
Yeah.
For the waiver.
It was part of that.
No, it's a separate.
No,
page.
I messed up. I gave you only one. We needed two.
Okay, so we are done with that. So at this time, we'll convene a closed session under Wisconsin State Statute 19.85. 1C, E, F, and G to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility. Considerations of financial, medical, social, or personal information, and to confer with legal counsel who is rendering oral or written advice. I have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Tiffany, seconded by Kelly.
Was Kelly or Trish?
I don't know, I guess they sound the same to me and I can't see them.
I know both of them, their mouths were shut.
Oh, okay. Tiffany, if you call.
Yeah, so I guess it's up to Heather if she wanted the other two members to
Can you
stay.
call the roll so I can close this out?
I was waiting for them.
Oh, so sorry.
Okay, Jim.
Yeah.
Dwayne.
Dwayne, yes.